As I sit here, surrounded by the memories of a life well lived, I'm reminded of the countless times I thought I knew my grandmother Aurora like the back of my hand. Her laughter was contagious, her wisdom a guiding light, and her hugs could heal any pain. Those piercing blue eyes, like a summer sky on a cloudless day, sparkled with a warmth that made everyone feel seen and loved. But, as I stand at the threshold of sharing her story, I'm about to reveal a truth that shatters the very foundation of my understanding of this extraordinary woman. It was on a somber day, following her passing, that I stumbled upon a secret she kept hidden for decades. While sorting through her belongings, my hands brushed against an old wooden box, tucked away in a corner of her attic. The box itself seemed to hold its breath as I lifted the lid, revealing a worn leather diary with yellowed pages that whispered tales of a bygone era. As I gently opened the cover, a faint scent of lavender wafted through the air, carrying with it the whispers of the past. In that instant, my world shifted. The woman I thought I knew so well was now a mystery, a puzzle with pieces I was eager to uncover. This diary, penned by Aurora's own hand, hinted at a life replete with forbidden love, sacrifice, and a legacy hidden across generations. The realization hit me like a gentle storm. There was so much more to Grandma Aurora than met the eye. Over the coming hours, I'll take you on a journey through the pages of her hidden diary, a chronicle of trials and triumphs, of love and loss. You'll meet a woman who defied conventions, who loved deeply and lost profoundly. Her story is one of resilience, of a strength that not only endured but also united our family across the years. Through tears and laughter, through heartbreak and joy, Aurora's tale will unfold, a testament to the enduring power of love and the secrets we keep. Join me as we unravel the threads of her extraordinary life, a narrative woven with the delicate balance of sorrow and happiness, of secrets kept and revealed. In the end, it is a story about us, about the love that binds us, the choices we make, and the legacies we leave behind. In the late 1930s, nestled in the heart of America, lay Willow Creek, a small, serene rural town untouched by the rapid changes sweeping across the nation. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, where the air was sweet with the scent of blooming wildflowers and the sky was a canvas of endless blue. Here, life was simple, dictated by the rhythms of nature. Mornings broke with the sun, and nights fell under a canopy of stars that twinkled like diamonds scattered across the velvet expanse. Aurora, a young woman with a heart full of dreams and a mind brimming with imagination, lived on a modest farm on the outskirts of town. Her days were filled with the routines of rural life, helping her parents in the fields, attending school, and spending starry nights lost in the pages of her favorite books. But amidst this peaceful backdrop, Aurora felt an unshakable restlessness, a yearning for something more that she couldn't quite articulate. Her family, the epitome of hard work and love, was a tapestry of unique personalities. Her parents, steadfast and supportive, worked tirelessly to till the land and bring forth its bounty. Thomas, her older brother, harbored dreams of soaring the skies, his heart set on becoming an aviator. Lily, her younger sister, saw the world through the lens of poetry, her innocent eyes sparkling with wonder. The family was close-knit, their days woven together with laughter, chores, and stories shared under the dinner table. As the seasons passed, Aurora's love for reading grew, becoming her escape, her window to a world beyond the rolling hills and fields of Willow Creek. She devoured books of adventure, romance, and mystery, her imagination fueled by the tales of far-off lands and extraordinary lives. In the evenings, she'd sit by the window, a notebook and pencil in hand, jotting down her thoughts, dreams, and the whispers of her heart. The community in Willow Creek was tight-knit, with town gatherings, church events, and school functions that brought everyone together. Aurora felt a sense of belonging, of being part of something greater than herself. Yet, with each passing day, her sense of discontent grew. She felt a calling, a sense of purpose that seemed to beckon her towards something she couldn't yet see. In the stillness of the night, under the starlit sky, Aurora would often pause, feeling the breeze rustle her hair, and wonder what lay beyond the horizon. It was as if she was standing at the edge of a great ocean, feeling the waves of possibility lapping at her feet, whispering secrets only she could hear. And though she didn't know it then, these quiet moments of reflection were the beginning of her journey, a path that would lead her through trials and triumphs, shaping her into a woman of strength, resilience, and enduring love. As the seasons changed, and summer gave way to autumn, the air in Willow Creek began to thicken with an undercurrent of unease. News of European tensions trickled in through crackling radio broadcasts and hastily read newspaper headlines. At first, it seemed a distant rumble, a far-off storm that wouldn't quite reach their tranquil corner of the world. But as the weeks turned into months, the reality of war began to seep into the daily lives of the townspeople. In Aurora's household, reactions to the war's encroachment varied. Her brother Thomas, ever the adventurer at heart, spoke of enlisting with a mix of excitement and bravado, much to their parents' dismay. Their parents, steadfast in their worry, tried to maintain a veneer of normalcy, but the concern etched on their faces betrayed their deepest fears. For Thomas, the thought of war was a call to action, a chance to prove himself. For their parents, it was a threat to their livelihood, to the very fabric of their lives. Aurora, meanwhile, found herself caught between her romantic dreams and the harsh awakening to reality. She began to question the world's justice, wondering how such destruction and hatred could exist. The peaceful nights under the starry sky now filled her with a sense of foreboding, the whispers of the wind no longer gentle but urgent, warning her of the fragility of peace. It was on one such evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, that a stranger arrived in Willow Creek. He came in a military uniform, his presence commanding attention. There was something about him that stood out from the other local boys, a certain air of mystery, a depth in his eyes that seemed to hold stories of their own. Aurora's eyes met his across the crowded room, and for a moment, time seemed to pause. There was a spark, a jolt of recognition that neither could ignore. This was Elias, a young man whose arrival in town was not mere coincidence. As the days went by, whispers began to circulate about Elias. Some said he was different, that there was something about him that didn't quite add up. But Aurora couldn't help the way she felt drawn to him, to the sense of safety and understanding he seemed to offer. Little did she know, Elias carried with him a secret mission, an enigmatic past that tied him to the very heart of the war. His presence in Willow Creek was not a chance encounter but the beginning of a perilous web that would entwine love and war, threatening to upend the lives of those she loved. The evening air seemed to vibrate with tension, the stars twinkling like warnings as Aurora and Elias shared their first, charged glance. It was a moment that would change the course of their lives forever, setting them on a path fraught with danger, sacrifice, and ultimately, the enduring power of love. As the summer days shortened, Aurora and Elias found solace in secret meetings, stealing moments whenever they could. They'd meet in the old barn, the scent of hay and earth enveloping them, or in the sunflower field, where tall stalks shielded them from prying eyes. Their love blossomed like the sunflowers, strong and resilient, yet fragile in the face of war's shadow. In these stolen moments, they'd talk of dreams, of a future beyond Willow Creek, and of the hope that their love could be a beacon of light in the darkness. Elias's eyes, a deep well of emotion, drew Aurora in, and she felt seen, understood. He shared stories of his past, of the world beyond their small town, and the weight of his secrets. Aurora listened, entranced, her heart aching with empathy. As they walked through the fields, the rustling of leaves and snapping of twigs underfoot were the only sounds that broke the silence. Their love was a flame that burned brighter with each passing day, warming them against the chill of uncertainty. But Elias's presence in Willow Creek was not a coincidence. He had a mission, one he'd been tasked with before the war had reached its boiling point. He was searching for an artifact, a powerful encryption device created by his mentor, a brilliant clockmaker. This device, if it fell into the wrong hands, could change the course of the war. Elias's eyes clouded when he spoke of it, his voice low and urgent. Aurora sensed the depth of his worry, the weight of responsibility he carried. As they strolled through the town, Aurora began to notice strange looks from the locals, some of whom she'd known her whole life. They'd whisper to each other, their eyes darting towards Elias. A sense of unease settled in the pit of her stomach. It wasn't long before they appeared, Nazi agents, disguised as civilians, their presence like a cold draft on a winter's night. They asked questions, seemingly innocuous, but laced with an undercurrent of menace. Elias's demeanor changed, his eyes scanned the streets, his steps quickening. He revealed to Aurora that he was, in fact, a German scientist who deserted, unable to bear the atrocities committed by his own people. His presence in Willow Creek was a desperate bid to prevent the artifact from being used for nefarious purposes. Aurora's world tilted on its axis. The man she loved was a deserter, a fugitive, and yet, she couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in his courage. Together, they embarked on a perilous journey, navigating the hidden passages beneath the old church. Cobwebs clung to their faces as they made their way deeper into the labyrinth, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and decay. The artifact, it turned out, was hidden here, left by Elias's mentor. Ancient symbols etched the walls, and the sound of gurgling water accompanied them as they walked. Aurora felt her heart pounding in her chest, a mix of fear and excitement coursing through her veins. In her diary, Aurora confided her fears, her love for Elias, and her growing determination to stand by him. The diary became her sole confidant, a repository of her deepest thoughts. As she wrote, she found strength, a sense of purpose that she hadn't known she possessed. The entries became more resolute, her handwriting firmer, reflecting the transformation within her. She was no longer just a passive observer, she was an active participant in Elias's mission, torn between protecting her love and her family's safety. The diary entries grew more sporadic, but the words poured out with a newfound urgency. I am scared, yet I am not alone. Elias's love is my anchor, my guiding star. I will do everything in my power to protect him, to help him complete his mission. The war may rage on, but in our small corner of the world, we will fight for love, for hope, and for a future. The words became a prayer, a testament to the enduring power of love amidst turmoil. And as she wrote, Aurora felt a sense of resolve settle within her, a determination to face whatever lay ahead, armed with nothing but her love and her courage. As they navigated the winding underground labyrinth, the air thick with anticipation, Aurora and Elias finally stumbled upon the secret chamber. The room was small, with walls lined by ancient stones, and at its center, a pedestal held the artifact, a small, intricately carved device that glowed with a soft, ethereal light. The atmosphere was heavy with tension, the silence only broken by the sound of dripping water echoing through the passageways. Aurora's heart pounded in her chest as she approached the pedestal, her eyes locked on the device. Elias stood beside her, his hand on the small of her back, a reassuring presence in the face of the unknown. They had come so far, and now, they were finally here. But their moment of triumph was short-lived. The sound of footsteps, heavy and deliberate, echoed through the labyrinth, growing louder with each passing second. Nazi agents, their faces twisted with malice, emerged from the shadows, guns drawn. Aurora and Elias exchanged a glance, a spark of understanding flashing between them. They knew they had to act fast. With a swift motion, Elias pushed Aurora behind him, his eyes scanning the room for any advantage. Aurora, her knowledge of the labyrinth guiding her, swiftly moved to disable the traps, creating a narrow window of escape. The ensuing battle was chaotic, the sound of gunfire and grunts filling the air. Aurora dodged and weaved, using her familiarity with the labyrinth to evade the agents. Elias fought valiantly, taking down several men, but he was outnumbered. As the confrontation reached its climax, Elias found himself cornered, a gun pressed to his temple. Aurora, her heart racing, knew she had to act. With a surge of adrenaline, she launched herself at the agents, taking down one with a well-placed kick, but it was too late. Elias, with a look of deep sorrow and love, pushed her away. Go, Aurora. Take the artifact. You must, he urged, his voice strained. Aurora hesitated, her eyes locked on Elias, but he gave her a gentle push. With a cry of despair, she turned and sprinted through the labyrinth, the artifact clutched in her hand. The sound of gunfire and Elias's final words echoed through her mind as she ran. She emerged into the cool night air, gasping for breath, the weight of the artifact and Elias's sacrifice settling upon her. Tears streamed down her face as she stumbled through the forest, her heart shattered into a million pieces. In that moment, Aurora knew her life's mission had changed. She would carry Elias's legacy, and the artifact, with her always. The diary, once a private refuge, now became a testament to their love, a reminder of the sacrifice Elias made for her, and for the world. As she vanished into the darkness, the silence was oppressive, punctuated only by her own ragged breathing and the soft hum of the artifact. Aurora's journey had reached a turning point, one that would define her for the rest of her life. The pain of loss and the determination to honor Elias's sacrifice forged a new path forward, one marked by courage, love, and a deep sense of purpose. As I emerged from the labyrinth, the darkness seemed to swallow me whole, like a shroud cast over the world. The rain lashed down, a relentless drumbeat that echoed the turmoil within me. I was shattered, physically and emotionally drained, yet I clutched the artifact to my chest as if it were a lifeline. The weight of Elias's sacrifice bore down on me like a physical force, making every step feel like a monumental task. Returning home was a blur. I went through the motions, numb and detached, as if I was a ghost haunting my own life. My family, concerned by my change, asked if I was all right, but I couldn't find the words to express the chasm that had opened within me. I couldn't share the truth, not with anyone. The secret of Elias's sacrifice and the artifact's existence was mine to carry alone. In the quiet of my room, I poured out my heart to the diary, the words flowing like tears. The pain of Elias's loss was a fresh wound, raw and unbearable. Yet, as I wrote, I began to feel a sense of purpose taking root. I would honor his memory, fulfill his mission, and ensure his sacrifice wasn't in vain. The days that followed were a struggle to maintain a facade of normalcy. I attended family gatherings, participated in conversations, but my mind wandered, lost in thought. My parents and siblings noticed the change in me, but I couldn't bridge the gap between their world and mine. I felt isolated, a stranger in my own home. One evening, I found solace in the local library, surrounded by dusty tomes and the musty scent of old books. I began to study the artifact, poring over Elias's notes in the diary, seeking to understand its purpose. The words on the pages became my comfort, a tangible connection to Elias and his legacy. As I read, a resolve began to form within me, a determination to unravel the mysteries of the artifact and carry forward Elias's work. In the silence of the library, I felt Elias's presence, a gentle whisper that urged me onward. The artifact, once a symbol of loss, began to represent hope, a beacon guiding me through the darkness. I knew the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, but I was no longer alone. Elias's legacy lived within me, and with every step, I found the strength to face the unknown. As I reflect on Grandma Aurora's journey, I recall the moment she left Willow Creek, a small town that had witnessed her whirlwind romance with Elias, a man whose love and sacrifice would forever change her life. With a determined heart, she ventured into the unknown, seeking anonymity in a larger city. The sounds of bustling streets and the smell of freshly brewed coffee enveloped her as she settled into a modest apartment, a far cry from the rustic simplicity of her childhood home. Aurora threw herself into her mission, poring over books, maps, and documents in libraries and archives, searching for any information that could help her understand the artifact Elias had entrusted to her. His diary, now her most treasured possession, served as a guide, illuminating the path ahead. She spent hours consulting experts, her queries often met with skepticism, but she persisted, driven by the memory of Elias's unwavering faith in her. As she delved deeper into the artifact's secrets, Aurora discovered its true power. It was more than a simple encryption device, it was a key to deciphering enemy codes and predicting strategic movements. This realization ignited a fire within her, and she dedicated herself to mastering its capabilities. Her days blurred together in a haze of study and practice, as she developed skills in observation, discretion, and counterintelligence. The once innocent young woman had transformed into a resourceful and capable individual, driven by necessity and her promise to Elias. I recall her sitting in a crowded train station, observing a suspicious individual, her eyes scanning the surroundings with a practiced air of nonchalance. She noted the way he fidgeted with his gloves, a telltale sign of nervousness. This was her new reality, a world of secrets and lies, where trust was a luxury she could ill afford. Yet, with each challenge, Aurora grew more resilient, her determination fueled by Elias's memory and the importance of her mission. The Nazi threat still loomed large, agents actively searching for the artifact, and Aurora had to remain vigilant, constantly aware of the danger. I remember a particularly tense moment when she narrowly avoided detection. She had been tracking a lead on a possible collaborator, and as she turned a corner, she spotted two men lingering by a doorway, their eyes scanning the crowd. Aurora's heart quickened, but she didn't hesitate. She merged into the throng of people, her senses on high alert. She managed to slip away unnoticed, but the encounter left her shaken, a stark reminder of the peril she faced. Despite the solitude and emotional toll of her secret life, Aurora persevered, her spirit unbroken. The artifact, once a symbol of loss, had become a beacon of hope, guiding her through the darkness. As she worked tirelessly to unravel its secrets, she began to see the world through Elias's eyes, a world where love and sacrifice could transcend even the most turbulent of times. And though the road ahead was fraught with danger, Aurora stood ready, her heart fortified by the love she shared with Elias, and the knowledge that she was one step closer to changing the course of history. As the war raged on, Aurora's role became increasingly vital. With the artifact in hand, she worked tirelessly to transmit crucial intelligence to the Allied forces. Her actions frustrated enemy plans, contributing to strategic victories that brought the Allies one step closer to triumph. The artifact, once a burden, had become a beacon of hope. In the quiet moments, Aurora would reflect on Elias, her heart still heavy with the sacrifice he made for her and for the world. Yet, with each passing day, she found solace in the knowledge that his sacrifice was not in vain. The war finally concluded, bringing a sense of relief and the beginning of peace. Aurora experienced the quiet satisfaction of having fulfilled her mission, knowing that her actions had made a difference. As the world around her began to heal, Aurora sought a new beginning. She returned to Willow Creek, the place where her journey with Elias had started. The rolling hills and familiar fields welcomed her back with open arms. Here, she dedicated herself to community building, using her experiences to help others. She became a pillar of strength and wisdom in the community, supporting war-affected families and advocating for education. The artifact, now a cherished symbol of Elias and her past, was carefully stored in a beautiful music box. Its presence was a reminder of the love and sacrifice that had shaped her life. As she grew older, Aurora's experiences and profound sacrifices transformed her into the wise, loving grandmother the narrator knew. Her past was a part of her, but it no longer defined her present struggles. The narrator, looking back, began to understand that Aurora's seemingly simple life was built upon extraordinary experiences and profound sacrifices. The diary, once a secret keeper of her deepest fears and desires, had revealed the depth of her character. As the narrator sat with her grandmother, listening to stories of love, loss, and triumph, she realized that the strength that unites us is not just the grand acts of heroism, but the quiet, enduring power of love and sacrifice. In the twilight of her years, Aurora's eyes sparkled with a deep wisdom, her laughter still contagious, her heart still full of love. The narrator felt grateful to have known her, to have been the recipient of her stories, and to have inherited the legacy of a woman who had lived a life of extraordinary courage and resilience. As the stories of Grandma Aurora came to a close, the narrator knew that her grandmother's spirit would continue to inspire generations to come. As I sit here, surrounded by the familiar comforts of home, I find myself lost in the pages of Grandma Aurora's hidden diary. What was once a mysterious artifact, tucked away and forgotten, has become a map to her soul. Reading her words, I feel like I'm unraveling the threads of a life I thought I knew, yet somehow, didn't. The stories she shared with me as a child, tales of fairies and heroes, of magic and bravery, I now realize were metaphors for her own extraordinary life. They were whispers of a heroic journey, lived in secret, yet etched in her heart. Her legacy is not just the artifact, nor the secrets she kept, it's the silent strength she embodied, the wisdom she shared through her stories, and the unconditional love she offered to all who knew her. It's a reminder that life's tapestry is woven with threads of complexity and beauty, of darkness and light. As I reflect on her story, I see the parallels between her struggles and triumphs, and my own life. The challenges she faced, the choices she made, they guide me still. I recall the countless hours she spent with me, sharing tales of Willow Creek, of Elias, and of the war. Her voice, once a soothing melody, now echoes with a deeper meaning. I understand that her stories were not just recollections of the past, but a testament to the human spirit. Her courage in the face of adversity, her love for Elias, and her determination to carry on his legacy, it all resonates within me. The diary, once a secret keeper, has become a personal treasure, a guide on my own journey. It has shown me that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope, always a choice to be made. Grandma Aurora's story has given me peace, a deeper understanding of life and courage. It has reminded me that our stories, though unique, are interconnected, and that it's in sharing them that we find true strength. As I close this chapter, I'm reminded of the power of hidden stories, of the legacies we leave behind. Grandma Aurora's life was a testament to the enduring power of love and sacrifice. Her story inspires me to discover my own hidden narratives, to share them with others, and to carry forward the legacy of courage and love that she embodied. In doing so, I hope to honor her memory and to pass on the wisdom she imparted to me. The strength that unites us is not just in the grand acts of heroism, but in the quiet, enduring power of love and sacrifice. It's a strength that I will carry with me, and one that I hope to share with others, as I continue on my own journey, guided by the wisdom of Grandma Aurora's hidden diary. As we close the pages of Grandma Aurora's hidden diary, we're reminded that life is a tapestry woven with threads of complexity and beauty, of darkness and light. Her story, one of courage, love, and resilience, teaches us that even in the most turbulent of times, the human spirit can overcome unimaginable challenges. Aurora's journey, marked by sacrifice and a legacy of love, shows us that the power to inspire and uplift others lies within each of us. If her story has resonated with you, then I know that her legacy lives on through you. This story doesn't end here, it continues through the experiences, the laughter, and the tears we share. It's a reminder that we're all part of a larger narrative, one that transcends time and circumstance. As you reflect on Aurora's story, I invite you to engage with our community. Please, leave a like if you've been inspired, subscribe to our channel for more stories that touch the heart and ignite the soul. Share this story with someone who might find solace, strength, or inspiration in it. And as you do, I encourage you to look around you, to see the threads of Aurora's story woven into the fabric of your own life and the lives of those you hold dear. As we part ways, I leave you with a question: what secret do you think Grandma Aurora held dearest to her heart, one that allowed her to face adversity with such courage and love? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Your reflections are a testament to the enduring power of her story, and we're grateful for your presence on this journey.